Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our third webinar in our Stronger Together series. And I truly do believe we are stronger together, especially in times like we are faced. I'm Jay Copelson, Vice President of Corporate Accounts here at Mannington. And before we begin, we're going on, believe it or not, it's hard to believe, but 2 months of this lockdown. And we all at Mannington hope that you're feeling well, you're safe, you're healthy. And on a positive note, things are starting to open up, believe it or not. Some states faster than others, as you know, but at least things are starting to move in the right direction, and we're excited about that. And a lot of the restrictions are being lifted. So with that in mind, our topic today has kind of shifted, and the focus is on the transition of customers coming back into your stores, because of course that's what we all really want. And our guest today will give you some insights on the new Mannington 2020 products and some of the new technologies that Mannington has introduced and how to close those sales with those technologies. So let's get started, and it's my pleasure today to introduce several guests that are here with me. First of all, we will have Terry Marquetta, and Terry is our Mannington Senior Director of Residential Styling, who will talk about the latest home fashions that your customers will be looking for. Thank you, Terry, and hi. Next, we will hear from Jimmy Tooley. Jimmy's our Vice President of Residential Resilient here at Mannington. And hi, Jimmy. And he's going to talk about the great, successful ADURA selling system that we have and the 2020 new introductions that we introduced at Surfaces. And finally, we have here at Mannington, Dan Natkin. Dan is our Vice President. Hello, Dan. Is our Vice President of Hardwood and Laminate. And Dan's going to talk about the incredibly popular Restoration Collection, and by far one of the best introductions that I've seen in my 29 years in the Restoration Collection is the new anthology. And finally, we saved the best for last, and we are honored today to have two special retailers across the country who will share their stories with us and with all of you on how they are successfully using Mannington's products and tools to do business with in their markets. First, speaking about the Restoration Collection, will be a friend of mine from Salt Lake City, Utah, and that's Daniel Willie. Daniel, hi Daniel. Daniel is the owner of Utah Design Center in Salt Lake, and Daniel's been in business for 5 years, and he employs 20 people. Aside from being a great Mannington retailer, he also enjoys spending time outdoors with his wife and his 2 little kids. And believe it or not, he may not look like it, but he plays the bagpipes. So that's pretty cool. So hi, Daniel. And certainly last but not least, I'd like to introduce to all of you to Amanda Deal, who will join us today to talk about her success using the Mannington digital tools that we have developed over the last 12 months. Amanda and her husband, Josh, are the owners of Atlantic Flooring OBX in North Carolina, which is on the Outer Banks, which I would love to be there right now. And prior to Amanda joining the company, Amanda spent more than 15 years in the restaurant and retail management business, and she uses the principles of a customer-centric culture from hospitality to work with her customers and to help them develop their vision from concept to completion. And when not in the store, Amanda enjoys the Outer Banks life with Josh and her 2 children, and of course her doggie. So Amanda and Daniel, thank you for being here, as well as Terry, Jimmy, and Daniel. So enough from me, and even though I like to talk all day, of course, but I'm going to turn it over now to Terry Marquetta, who's joining us today. And Terry, take it away.
Thanks, Jay. Hey everyone, I'm Terry, and I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Hope you're staying well and managing as best you can while we look forward to getting back to business. So just like all of us, your customers have been staying home for the past couple months and surely assessing their interior spaces with a more critical eye. I know I have. So as businesses start to open and customers start to come back into those stores, they'll be looking for a change and something that's updated and something that's more current. So to help guide them, I'd like to take you through some of the most popular color and design trends that we see today. So there are actually 4 new and notable looks that stand out this season, and we're calling them Nordic Retreat and Retro Fusion. Let's start with the first one, Nordic Retreat. This trend is all about serene Scandinavian styling with subtle hints of global-inspired pattern and texture. The styling world refers to this look as hygge, which is a Danish word that means the art of encompassing the feeling of cozy contentment and well-being through enjoying the simple things in life. The look is understated, it's soft, it's calm, but most importantly, it embraces elements of nature. The color palette is centered around earthy tones, a mix of complex pastels influenced by brown and gray, creating colors such as taupe, powder, and greige. To capture this look, incorporate materials such as natural weathered wood, knits, thick wools, sheepskin, wicker or rattan, and earthenware pottery. Floors that complement this look center around very natural, understated visuals with minimal distressing. It's all about wood in its natural form, centering around white oak and maple. The interest is found in subtle plank-to-plank variation and soft edge sculpting only. There's almost no staining. The looks are either bleached, they feature blonde wood, or have whitewash techniques, allowing the floor to act as a neutral backdrop. Now our next trend is called Global Nomad. It's a continuation of the boho trend from last year. It's all about capturing global eclecticism. It's globally inspired in handcrafted patterns with rugged textures. The trend is casual. It's about making natural materials look effortlessly stylish, drawing on the raw beauty of imperfection. The color palette is very warm. It's centered around earthy, rich, pigmented tones, such as terracotta, warm umber, and spiced red. The trend features material that have been made by an artisan, such as woven textiles, Indian block prints, ikat fabrics, and again, earthenware that has been made by an artist. Floors that work well with this trend center around traditional wood look. They feature subtly refined rustics and exotics, primarily acacia and walnut in dark to mid-tone stains. They also feature fuming effects, which provide a very rich, warm, caramelized underglow that adds warmth and casual comfort to any space. Tile is also relevant in this trend. It's about pushing color and natural materials, making terracotta and terrazzo the standouts, as well as decorative and caustic tiles with a handmade artisan flair. So our next trend is called Refined Glamour, and it welcomes back cocktail hour with open arms. It gains its inspiration from the 20s, 30s, focusing on a design style that was called streamlined modern or Art Deco. I'm sorry, I think no one can hear me.
Everything's on.
Good. Sorry about that, everybody. I think I accidentally maybe muted something.
Technical difficulties, thanks, Jay.
Go ahead, Terry.
Okay.
I'll talk. Go back to like the colors, the navy colors.
Okay. So again, just to reiterate, this trend uses luxurious materials such as velvet, Carrara marbles, and Art Deco inspired elements such as wallpaper and bar cards. Now the floors again are very traditional. They focus on oak and walnut in dark stains, but what makes these floors a little different than the other trends is that they incorporate shapes. So we're starting to see herringbone, chevron, and parquetry looks become very popular. Really, it's any floor that adds luxury, sophistication, and elegance, and adds a sense of one-of-a-kind customization, makes this trend stand out. Now, our final trend is called retro fusion. It's a nostalgic trend that reimagines classic interior elements from bygone eras. It has retro vibes with geometrics making a big statement. It highlights the color palette of the 70s, the scallop shapes of the 20s Art Deco flair, and the signature furniture styles of the 50s. The colors are very playful, and they work in unison. This is where you're going to see these very saturated teal colors, spice honeys, and brights that all center around orange and red. To capture this style, use very retro materials like velvet, mid-century modern furniture, bold color, and geometrics. And a perfect accent for flooring, again, is using very traditional materials such as oak and walnut in mid to dark stain colors. What's most important about this is the tile aspect in this trend, featuring the hexagon, which is a very retro shape. So I know I threw a lot of information at you very quickly, but the three main takeaways that you should remember when it comes to flooring is that minimalization is key. The industry has moved away from these deep, heavy hand scrapes to refined visuals. The looks are very simple, they're clean. They're allowing the flooring to act as a neutral backdrop, accenting the customer's personality and style. Secondly, the palette is warming up. Although gray is very prominent in the industry, we're seeing that colors, especially gray, are being influenced with orange and yellow. So they're creating new colors such as browns and taupes, making these perfect transitional colors to accent incoming styles. And finally, shapes are making a comeback in both the wall and the floor. So don't be afraid to use them. They're a great way to create a customized, one-of-a-kind look.
Thank you very much, Terry. And everybody out there, I'm sorry. I forgot I was the leader because usually Zach Zahner is here with me today, but he's letting me have all the prep. So thank you, Zach. But I accidentally muted Terry, and that was my fault. So I apologize to everyone. Thank you, Terry. And next, we're going to turn it over to Jimmy Tooley, who is our Vice President of the Residential Resilient business. And Jimmy's going to talk about the exciting new patterns to ADURA and the selling solution. Jimmy?
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm going to be taking you through an update of our ADURA selling solution, and wanted to start off with kind of what's going on in the market. LVT has been the fastest growing category in residential flooring for several years now. With a show of hands, I'd like to just really understand how many people believed that LVT would be 20% market share in residential flooring by 2020. Now, keep in mind, I can't see you. So if your hand is up right now, you're only lying to yourself. So I just want to make sure that you know that. But it's just been a change that has been pretty massive in the market as we've gone through time. So when we look at its effects on the category, as mentioned, the LVT is the fastest growing category, and in large part because of the innovation that's taken place in the construction and visuals have made a strong value proposition for the manufacturers, retailers, and customers. The construction innovation has been fast and furious, and don't expect it to stop anytime soon. From a speed of change perspective, the evolvement of this category is relatively unprecedented. Because of that, there are a flood of new products, constructions, and stories that can make the category incredibly confusing. The number of displays and products on the average showroom floor can be very overwhelming for both consumers and the sales associates out there. So our response has been to be beautifully simple. The ADURA selling system has a stunning high style and design offering of product. It's the simplest way to buy and sell LVT. The consumer picks color, and the sales associate guides them to the right technical solution with a few simple questions, all backed by Mannington's lifetime warranty. No more going from display to display while trying to figure out the right match of style and construction. Just eliminate the confusion and head to the ADURA selling system. Our focus for 2020 is twofold. The first is to maximize max. Over the last 2 years, a flood of SPC products have come into the market and really caused many to run to the low end. ADURA Max limits the competition and has a true trade-up value story to capture the upsell. The second is to do what Mannington is known for, which is to make beautiful products. And we're really excited to show you what's in store for 2020. So when we think about maximizing max, there's a real value that the consumer can understand. The thickness, the comfort, the quiet, and the lifetime performance of the products are selling stories that really resonate, especially when you put that product in the consumer's hands. They can feel the difference. I can also tell you that this is the lowest claims product that we've ever put in the market. You combine that with so many running to the low-priced SPC products, there's not much competition for this upsell, and that will allow all of us to capture those greater profits, which is so important to us. Don't downsell, upsell. From a 2020 launch perspective, this is the largest update we've done to the ADURA selling system, focused on the design trends Terry discussed. In general, the launch in 2020 will be light, clean, and modern. Also in 2020, we're bringing painted bevel on select styles. This complementary feature really makes certain styles pop and are a great add for 2020. So now I'll take you through the exciting new products. The first is Manor. Capturing the principal elements of mid-century modern design, Manor is a white walnut pattern in 2 stunning colors that evoke clean, minimal, uncomplicated visual that can easily complement both the mix of traditional and non-traditional materials that are essential to creating this timeless interior style. Featuring a 7x48 inch plank and a 4-sided painted bevel in max and rigid for added realism, Manor blends rich, medium to dark wood tones and soft edge spalting with a refined surface texture to create a distinctive visual that's ideal for today's urban lifestyle. Manor comes in 2 different colors. The next is Kona, and Kona taps into the global nomad trend with the exotic look of acacia. 3 new colors featured in a 6x48 inch plank. Kona has an organic color variation, subtle spalting, and understated saw marks with modern colors. Incredibly versatile, Kona creates a balanced aesthetic which provides continuity and takes you on a journey of awe-inspiring beauty. Kona comes in 3 beautiful light colors. Next, inspired by the minimalist philosophy of Nordic design, Parisian oak places emphasis on clean lines and simplicity while capturing the essence and unmatched beauty found in nature. Featured in a 7x48 inch plank, Parisian oak's unassuming white oak visual combines subtle saw marks, realistic visual, wood-filled knots, and refined surface texture with a complementary painted bevel in max and rigid, revealing a beautiful harmonizing floor that will transition any interior space. Available in a soft, modern color palette, Parisian oak is sure to delight the homeowner, creating a peaceful, calming environment. Parisian oak will be offered in 4 beautiful colors. Finally, on the wood side, Margate oak. Repurposed wood, especially if it's centuries old, has a patina and pedigree that exhibits a sense of craftsmanship that can only be found in times forgotten. Margate oak takes all the elements associated with the past and refines them, making each 6x48 inch white oak plank completely unique. Wire brushed and cerused, Margate oak's authentic coloring and painted bevel, available in ADURA Max and Rigid, easily complements a wide range of looks in any home, from modern, traditional, and rustic. Margate oak comes in 4 colors. The last update this year, and very exciting, is Baltic stone. Creating an unparalleled sophistication and a timeless pattern, Baltic stone is a weathered soapstone pattern that provides a beautifully aged surface with organic imperfections. Offered in both the 18x18 and 12x24 tile format, Baltic stone's dark, dramatic color and contrasting soft white veining is a unique combination that captures the look of Nordic styling, providing bold impact when paired against today's trendy, raw, natural wood accents. The 12x24 inch rectangles in ADURA Max and Rigid feature a painted bevel. This comes in 2 different size formats. In closing, I wanted to also provide you with an update of our manufacturing. As you may or may not know, ADURA Flex is 100% produced in the U.S., and we've made a big investment to produce WPC and SPC products here now also. We are now producing select ADURA Max products in Georgia, and will be expanding that capability as the year goes on. Finally, as always, we're committed to you. We love the value and knowledge that you provide to your customers, and you won't find the Mannington brand in the big box or the home centers. I want to thank you each for your time, and I look forward to a great second half of 2020.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. That was awesome, and I know I'm truly excited about the new ADURA four-sided bevel products that look amazing. And I hope all of you agree the room scenes that Terry and that Jimmy and I know Dan's going to show you. It's amazing how it's just improved over the years. And all these great room scenes are all on the Mannington.com website and on the Mannington Images site. So all of you on this can obviously use those. I know we're going to talk about those later with Amanda. So thank you, Jimmy. And now we're going to turn it over to Dan Natkin. Dan is our Vice President of Hardwood and Laminate. And Dan's going to talk to you about what I think is one of the most exciting products that we've ever introduced in the Laminate Restoration Collection, and that's Anthology. Dan?
Thanks, Jay. Good morning, everybody. I'm here to talk about the L word category. We almost don't even call it laminate anymore, but we're going to talk about our Restoration Collection update. Let's talk a little bit about laminate in general, though. Many people have counted this category out, which is, kind of disappointing to me. But keep in mind, this is a category that's still close to 1 billion feet sold in the United States every year. This is a huge, huge category. So one of the trends that I've seen is we're letting the home centers take the whole category away, and they're running with it. Don't let them do that. This is a category that you could be successful in. When you think about laminate, and you think about this category in general, it's the most indentation-resistant product other than maybe porcelain. It's the most scratch-resistant product that you can get for the home. It's easy to install, easy to clean, but most importantly, it's made in the USA. It comes coronavirus-free, so don't forget about this category. And when we talk about the Restoration Collection, it's the best offering that we have and that we would propose is offered in the premium laminate category. You get incredibly realistic visuals, and one of the keys is that we design these for the North American market. We're not buying them off the shelf. We have an in-house design team led by Terry that designs them based on the trends that they see. We make all of the Restoration Collection here in the USA, and we set it at one simple price for all styles. And this year, we've updated our technology, and we're now offering Spill Shield Plus waterproof technology on the floor. So what is waterproof? It means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Ultimately, floods are really an insurance issue. And whether your floor is completely waterproof or not, if you have a flood, that floor is going to get replaced. The principal concern that consumers have is what happens if something spills on that floor. It's all topical moisture-related issues. Whether it's you're spilling a glass of water, your ice maker drops ice cubes on the floor, the occasional pet mess. So we've designed the product to be highly, highly resistant to these things. So the Restoration Collection, the entire collection, features this Spill Shield Plus waterproof technology, which means it will not deform if the floor is exposed to any typical household spill. So I get asked the question a lot, what is Spill Shield Plus? How do you guys do this? And it's really a combination of three different things that we do. The first is we put a coating on the bevels and profile that helps to repel or fails to mix with water. Then we also add a wax sealer on the top of the locking system that seals out that joint and prevents moisture from going down below the joint. And then finally, we use a low swell core that keeps the product intact. So that led us into our driving forces for the 2020 introductions. The first was to reinforce our product performance, to improve that Spill Shield application and introduce Spill Shield Plus. But really, when it comes down to it, we're selling beauty here, and it was a focus on realism. That's one of the core strengths of the laminate category. You can make it look more real than any other product category. So with that, we're introducing Anthology. This has been an absolute smash out of the gate. Anthology is really based off that farmhouse glam trend that Terry talked about a little bit earlier on, where you're combining different looks and elements together, different species together. We're combining together oak, hickory, and maple. into a single visual. So it was really inspired by a product that we introduced last year called Triumph. It's a subtly rustic visual that we're mixing 3 different species, oak, maple, and hickory together, but we do it in a way that it really, really blends. One of the coolest things is we're able to leverage digital print in this design, which means you get 20 unique plank designs. Now, most competitors in this category offer somewhere between 6 and 10 planks, so you're getting more than double the next closest competitor. That's over 50 square feet of design on the floor. And then what we did this year in both our hardwood and our laminate introductions is rather than having a bunch of collections, we went broader in the color palette. Because let's face it, when the consumer comes in, she's picking based on color. So we developed a nice line of light designer colors for this collection. You've got this beautiful light color parchment that is our #1 color right off the bat. Ink, tannin, suede, and quill. So when you think about why would I sell the Restoration Collection, we would argue it's the best offering in the premium laminate segment. We get almost no claims on this product versus the sales, which is fantastic. Unbelievably realistic visuals. As a matter of fact, at Surfaces this year with this product down on the floor, many people thought they were standing in the wood section. We call it family friendly. It's virtually kid and pet proof. You get one price for every style, every visual in the collection. You now have the Spill Shield Plus waterproof warranty. It's all made in the USA. And to get some more information, you can go to mannington.com/restoration.
Thank you very much, Dan. That was awesome. I know one thing I love a lot of things about the Restoration Collection, but it's all made in High Point, North Carolina. So, we just introduced and announced a new campaign, the Jobs campaign, and keeping jobs in America. So, love to sell more laminate so we can just keep employing more people. So, in High Point, that's great. So now I'd like to, instead of you hearing from the Mannington people, I'd like to turn it over now to your fellow retailers out there in North America. And from one Dan, we're going to go to another Dan, to Daniel Willie. And again, Dan is the president and owner of Utah Design in Salt Lake City. And Dan, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Jay, and thanks for having me.
Our pleasure, Dan. So, Dan, I have to tell you, you've become one of our largest Restoration Collection retailers out there in North America. And I just would like to ask you a question, and you could tell our audience, why that is, and what about the Restoration Collection do you like so much?
Jay, how much time do you have?
Well, I got all the time in the world, so my friend.
Just kidding. No, we love the Restoration Collection. Several reasons. The first one is that I absolutely love my customers, but once I go into their home and finish installing, I really don't want to see them again. And by that, I mean that with restoration, we can go in there, we can install, we know how it works, we know how it goes together, and then we can leave and we can be very confident that we're going to have few, if any, claims, where with a lot of products, that's not the case. A lot of our work is in new construction. And when we go into the home and we install our product, there's a lot of trades that obviously come after us. And unfortunately, they usually don't care about our floor maybe as much as we do. And that restoration, I mean, it can take a lot of damage without showing it. It doesn't gouge as easy, it doesn't dent as easy, and it really does a good job. In Utah, we have a lot of families with kids, with pets, and the restoration, I mean, all around is just a killer product for families, and we kind of call it the family product.
That's awesome, Daniel. So, Daniel, do you have a restoration floor down in your design center?
We do. We just put the new anthology collection down in our design center.
And how has that been received? What do customers think about that pattern? And tell me what you think about anthology. I know we think it's great, but what do you, as a retailer, think about anthology?
It has been received very well. But I gotta say, and Jay, I hope I don't get you in trouble for this, but I wasn't very happy when it came out.
Why is that, Dan?
Well, I put in a new floor in my basement in December, and as soon as my wife saw that anthology in January at Surfaces, she told me I had to rip out the floor in my basement and put in the new anthology collection.
Oh, that's well. Well, we love that you did that, and I mean, it's just realistic, and it looks. I mean, it just looks amazing and everything. And you know, it's funny. I know you were telling me about there's a bunch of billboards, you know, in Salt Lake from other retailers, you know, about the waterproof. And you know, I think they just think it's about LVT. And you know, tell me what you're seeing and what you think about that.
Yeah, we have a lot of competitors here in Utah that have put up billboards all over Salt Lake City that when you drive by, it just talks about this waterproof LVT to the point where when we have customers come into our showroom, I mean, all of them are just asking for waterproof LVT, waterproof LVT. And so we try to talk to them and figure out if that's really what they're looking for. You know, we talk about, do you have kids? Do you have grandkids? Do you have pets? And by the time we're done talking and showing them the differences, most of them have switched over to restoration. I think it's more realistic. It feels like wood. It doesn't feel like plastic. It's still incredibly durable. It's got that spill shield protection on it, and it really is just an incredible product.
That's awesome. And one last thing, I'll just ask you, you know, in your opinion, as you know, especially what's going on with COVID-19 and you know how everything you know is happening, is made in the USA. Is that important to you?
That is huge to us. I think a couple of years ago, I don't think any of us knew how big it would have been, how big of a deal it would have been to us. And over the last couple of years, I think it has just become increasingly more important. And my personal opinion is that it will continue to just be a very important thing.
Daniel, thank you. It's amazing what you've done for Mannington and I know the Mannington distributor in Salt Lake, and we really appreciate you just being a big proponent of the Mannington Restoration Collection and what you're doing out there. So thank you very much, Daniel.
Thank you, Jane. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And tell your wife I'm sorry that we came out with a great pattern, and I hate to tell you this, but next January we'll probably come out with another great one, so we may be in trouble again, my friend.
I'll handle it. Thank you.
Good. Thanks, Daniel. So we're going to switch gears now, and obviously we've been talking about product, but you know, especially you know we're in 2020, and it's so important with all these tools and marketing tools and the digital tools out there. And I think it's been very exciting what I've seen from Mannington. And instead of us just being an infomercial and tell you how great it is, we like to switch gears now. And I'm going to reintroduce Amanda. Amanda, if you want to come back, Amanda Deal and her husband, they own Atlantic Flooring in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Hi, Amanda. And,
Hi.
she has used, Amanda has been using and adopted early on, she's been using Mannington's digital tools very successfully with her customers. And many of her customers, you know, they're not even there at the store. And I just want to talk to Amanda about working virtually, and especially during COVID-19, it's even more important, you know, working virtually. So Amanda, welcome again, and I hope you're doing well. And you know, if I could just ask you, as an expert in working from a distance, could you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you use the Mannington digital tools?
Yeah, thanks, Jay. Certainly. Being on the Outer Banks and in a resort market filled with vacation rentals and second homes and that type of thing, we really a lot of times don't get the opportunity to meet with our clients face to face. Primarily, they live out of town or even several states away. And many of you may feel like you're in a resort market right now because you're not getting to meet a lot of your clients. So we're having to adapt a little bit in the climate. The technology and these digital tools that Mannington has to offer has been really paramount in the selling process and how what exactly that looks like now. And it really has somewhat changed it for the better. instead of just emailing a link to your customer straight to the website, which may be a little bit daunting and overwhelming for them and just say, here you go, have at it, pick your floor and leave it at that. That might be a little bit off-putting even for them to have all that pressure put on them. So we can really use these tools to take some of that pressure off. And one of the ways that we do it is we will ask our clients and customers to either send us photos of their home, of the rooms, and we can import for them the photos using the virtual decorator tool online, and start to make suggestions for them flooring wise of what will work for them in their home, and take that off of them a little bit. And or we will also pull stock photos from the rental company and kind of be proactive in that, depending on the step in the process that we are with the client. And that way, when we send them a quote, we can already show them what their transformation in their home can look like. So that really has been a good foundation for us to start building that rapport with the client when we don't get to meet face to face.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, you're in a unique position. I mean, just because of, you know, the type of market that you're in. And it's just been amazing how you've adapted these tools. And, you know, I know you have estimators that obviously go to the homes. Can you tell us, like, you know, what about having your estimators when they do go to the home? What are they doing? And, you know, what's the tools that we have?
Yeah, so our estimators are trained to use the floors.com/see or my room. And if they are there and they're able to work with the homeowner, they can show them in the moment how to use that program, and so that they can see in their room as they're standing there real time what their different flooring choices are and how that can change the look of their home. That really has been a wow factor for the clients, and they're so impressed with not only the program, but again, it's just another layer of service that goes above and beyond just the measuring itself. Having somebody there to guide them on how to use that, it gets them really excited. It's been really important for us to be able to leave them those little business cards that you guys have provided. That way, after we're gone, they're able to continue using that and playing around with their choices while they're waiting for their quote from us. If the estimator is there and the homeowners are not, then they will take photos of the room while they're there, bring that back to the office, and we'll do that exact same process through email and showing them how to use it over the phone, as well as going ahead and importing those photos and the flooring into the photos for them. And it gives them the tools to be able to learn how to use that remotely as well. So that has been huge, and we always are getting, wow, nobody else does that for us.
That's great. You know, Amanda, tell me about, like, sending samples out to your customers and, like, what you use from Mannington, just you know, as far as, you know, because these people may not be there, they might want to see real samples instead of just even, you know, virtual on the website. Can you tell me about, you know, samples?
Right. So that has been another huge thing, whether somebody is several states away, or even last week, I had somebody whose home is literally down the street from our showroom. Once we go through this process of showing them different options and making suggestions, we will ask them to narrow down their choices and go ahead and order those samples for them, and have them shipped directly to their home. It is so fast and so easy, and it gives them something tangible to look at and not just a digital picture online. So then they're really able to, you know, put their hands on the product, see and feel the quality and the true color of what it will look like, and They don't have to worry about those samples being returned. They get to keep them. So it's definitely big in the convenience factor. And we did this with our client from down the street last week, and she made her selection and never even came to our showroom. So in today's climate, that's been really a big game changer too, just to have that available and know that it is going to get to them in a really timely manner.
That's awesome. And Amanda, are we charging you too much for these samples, by the way?
Nope, not at all.
What are we charging you, Amanda?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, it's good. I know.
And it's good to let the customers know that they can go online and order them as well. It's just ordering for them is just another one of those steps to take some of the pressure off of them from having this checklist of things they have to do.
That's awesome. And yeah, we are, I know I've been begging this for us to get samples out because, you know, it's important, especially with the ADURA selling system. I know you're one of our bigger ADURA ones because, you know, there's a few slight differences perhaps, you know, with the glue down and the max. And so it's nice, I would think, for your customer to get the actual sample so they can just see if there's, you know, what they think.
Right, that has been really good because even if we're sending them the same color, we can send them the different applications so that they can really see and feel the difference. We're also really careful to be sending them the right choices for their application as well. But that has opened the door to be able to almost virtually pull and show when you can't be in the showroom with someone and utilize the selling solution display.
Amanda, thank you. That was awesome. And we truly appreciate all you're doing to utilize our digital tools, our free samples. And, you know, I think it's a great thing for other retailers in North America to understand that. So thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and just, you know, for everybody, you know, this is a big website to use. It's floors.com/myroom. It's amazing. It's just app-based, so you don't really need to do much. It's so easy. Even people who are not, I don't have a lot of technological background, but you can upload your photos of all these great things that Jimmy, Terry, and Dan showed you today. And then the nice thing is you can put in your own room with the pattern that you want to look at to see. So just like Amanda had talked about. So I'm going to wrap it up, and I just want to thank, first of all, Amanda and Daniel. You guys are awesome, great people, great customers, and all of you out there. Thank you so much. I want to thank Terry, Jimmy, and Dan for their expertise today. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you all doing this stronger together. Like I said at the beginning, we are stronger together. I mean, without you, without our Mannington customers in North America, we're not here. And I know we've been here 105 years, and I'd like to continue that another 105 years after that. So thank you, everybody. Please be safe, be healthy. I'm excited that things are opening up again. And I do feel we're going to get back to normal, whatever normal is. And I know I'm probably not a normal person, but we're going to get back to some normalcy. And we look forward to doing this again. Please, if you have any questions, you can let us know, let your reps know, and we will answer them. And I just, again, thank you very much. And please have a great weekend, and please stay healthy. Take care, everyone.